The views and opinions expressed by the guest author or speaker during this live session are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Reader's Magnet. The content shared is for informational purposes only and does not constitute endorsement or promotion of any particular belief, ideology, or product.
Hello, authors, book lovers, and storytellers. Welcome to another awesome day here at RM Hive, and you're tuning in to Reader's Magnet's featured author interview. I'm your host, Revan, and our featured author captivates readers with stories that blend suspense, political intrigue, and thought provoking questions about society and the future. Drawing inspiration from history, politics, and mystery, he crafts gripping narratives that challenge readers to look beyond the surface and consider the forces shaping the world around them. He is the author of our featured book today called Saboteurs. Please welcome Aaron Paul Riley. Hi, Aaron. Thank you for joining us here today. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited about this book. For all you guys, this is the book right here. It's called Saboteur. So look at the cover. It's really good with that triangular symbol. And right now, I would love Aaron to what is this book about? Can you talk a little bit about it?
Uh, in a nutshell, it's about conspiracy theories. It's kind of in a way, it's a catch-all for a lot of what are considered conspiracy theories
Mhm.
that people talk about generally. Some that aren't as well known or talked about, but more specifically, it's on the one hand, it's about a global conspiracy
Mhm.
led by central banking families who basically are some of the wealthiest people in the world
Mhm.
and who sort of control the flow of money around the world, and how they are trying to use society and the institutions and organizations that are present to sort of herd humanity
Mhm.
into the areas they want and enslave them. Um, a total enslavement that they the ensure that people won't be aware of
Mhm.
while it's happening. And then on top of that is the sort of the more imminent story
Mhm.
of the two main characters and more or less how they are dealing with uh, that conspiracy as it affects them personally in their part of
Mhm.
the world and their own personal lives. So,
Yes.
and
And
that's basically it.
yes, and for all your guys out there, I just actually found this book out today. So I actually looked over it on Amazon. It's actually available on Amazon, guys. So you can just check it out. This is by Aaron Paul Riley called Saboteurs. I just read the synopsis on Amazon, and it's really good. It's really intriguing, and I want to I want to get ahead of this book. So there's a character named Rand and Brandon, and they're actually getting into this adventure, and I love that Aaron actually you mentioned that this is about a conspiracy theory, and that's what's make it more more mysterious. And I'm excited of what's going to be in the book. And I want to ask right now, what lesson will your readers expect to learn from this book?
Um, so while some of the stuff in the book is not necessarily completely 100% proven to
Hmm.
be
Hmm.
accurate, true,
Hmm.
I'm hoping that readers will at least see enough truth within the pages of
Hmm.
it, to at least begin to question um, society, the structure of
Hmm.
society, the power structure,
Yes.
um, and maybe see that not everything is as it seems on the surface,
Hmm.
in terms of uh, humanity, how we're developing, how we've developed thus far, and
Hmm.
where we're going, and so, and also the nature and extent of power and control that the people
Hmm.
in charge already have. So,
Yes. And that's actually the power of, writing fictional stories. You can actually, create your own world in there, and people actually get to be, sometimes it really challenges the readers if they're actually learning facts, or if there are proof between this information. And that's what I really love about reading these types of stories. And I just want to know, Aaron, when did you first realize that you wanted to be a writer? Because these types of stories will actually, put a person inside of a story, like really deep into it. So how did you first realize that you wanted to be an author or a writer?
Well, I've always been an artist. I've always been into art. I used to, I've sketched with pencil for,
Mm-hmm.
ever since I was little. I played music. I played piano and guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Guitar since I was 12, and piano since I was 8. So
Mm-hmm.
a long time now. And then I've always been a huge fan of film
Mm-hmm.
and even television. I kind of grew up on that. And so actually, when I went into college for the first year, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, but I had a feeling that it was going to be something having to do with art or literature
Mm-hmm.
or music or something like that. And then the second year I was in college, I kind of settled on filmmaking because I
Mm-hmm.
found out that a local college nearby in my state offers a filmmaking degree,
Mm-hmm.
and so I kind of thought for a while that I would become a director, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and with the goal of becoming an independent film director. Not I didn't want to go work for a big production company or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I started following people like M. Night Shyamalan and other. I was a big fan of like George Lucas and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Steven Spielberg. Even he became big, but at first he started off, in a small independent, film
True.
studio.
True.
So that's kind of what I thought I wanted to do. And then um, about a year into the film program, so this would be my third year in college,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what, this is a little bit daunting, and it's a little bit more than what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of felt like it would consume my life if I went that path. And I have other goals, and did then. I wanted to have a big family and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I wouldn't really be able to be present and give them sort of the attention and stuff that I felt they would need uh, if I did that, because I tend to throw myself completely into whatever I'm doing. And filmmaking is so huge that, I just didn't see a way around that. And so
Mm-hmm.
I realized after talking to some friends and stuff and people who knew me really well that the reason I wanted to do filmmaking so much and why I love art and literature and music is because all of them tell stories.
Mm-hmm.
That's
True.
ultimately the basis of all of it. It's just, and it goes back, thousands of years to sitting around campfires.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they taught, all over the world, society. That's how they taught the next generation, was just telling stories basically of the past. And so that's really what I realized mattered the most to me about all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like I could simplify the process much more just by being an author and writing books. And so that's what I decided to focus on. I got into the creative writing program at the
Mm-hmm.
school, and I finished my degree there. And I came out thinking that just to make a living, maybe at first, I would
Mm-hmm.
become like a feature writer for a magazine or something.
Mm.
And I found that finding a job in that is kind of difficult as far as
True.
a secure, steady paying job and stuff like that. So uh, I kind of turned my sights onto novels, and some of the stuff that I had written in college, I decided to go ahead and make into a book, such as Orion's Belt, which is one of my other books.
Mm.
And then Saboteurs. well, that became sort of like my pet project, and
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, that's how it happened.
So I just want to ask Aaron, how having your way around the film industry, does it does it um does it influence the way you write your book, or
It
does it
does.
also the other way around?
Uh, well, maybe a little bit of both. A little column A, column
Hmm.
B, because I tend to be interested in movies that tell the types of stories that I'm interested in.
Hmm.
I'm not one that just goes and blindly into movies just because it's out, to see it.
True.
I kind of pick and choose, and my movie library at home is very specific, very crafted
Hmm.
to my taste.
Ones with substance, yeah.
Yeah, I like to think that, but definitely the ones that hit the notes that I'm concerned with.
Hmm.
Um, but my writing, I found that I try to kind of make it cinematic. The way I
Hmm.
tell the stories, especially I would say more with Orion's Belt than Saboteurs. That one
Hmm.
kind of it feels like a film on paper. That's kind of what my goal was with it. One of the goals.
Hmm.
Saboteurs, I tried to be more academic maybe with it,
Hmm.
even though some of the issues in it are more like pop culture kind of thing, like film.
Hmm.
Uh, it's still I wanted to tell the story through like traditional like literature type, you know, uh, methods rather than trying to put
Hmm.
a film on the page. So,
Okay. So what was the most or one of the most surprising things that you've learned while you were creating the book?
um, there's a lot that I had come across through talking to people about some of these conspiracies
Hmm.
that until I started researching for my book, I was
Hmm.
pretty sure, or I wasn't very sure how factual they were.
Hmm.
I thought a lot of it was probably just rumor and folklore, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
Um, but the more I researched, the more I realized that there's quite a bit that's actually very well documented.
Mhm.
Um, there's like academic papers, there's essays and stuff like that, and interviews with different people in power
Mhm.
and in within like the economic world and stuff like that. That
Mhm.
there's a lot more fact to it, a lot more documented historical facts, especially the angles that I tried to come from in my book.
Mhm.
Um, I made sure that what I was writing had at least some documentation behind it, and
Mhm.
wasn't just you know from a message board on the internet or something like that.
True.
You know.
And that's what I love about writing, because you get to discover things that you didn't know were actually right, or there are secrets that you just discover right there, and which is actually happening in the world as well.
Hmm.
So, is your book advocating for a specific cause or agenda? And if so, what is it, and why is it essential for you as an author?
Um, kind of like what I'm hoping for readers to get from the book, from reading it, in
Mm.
terms of knowledge. I kind of hope that it galvanizes them and inspires them to take a stand against tyranny
Mhm.
in their own pocket of the world, maybe locally on the community level, or
Mhm.
even city or state level, just to be vigilant in watching for politicians and people like that um trying to take more from us than they should,
Mhm.
limiting rights and stuff like that. Um, basically, I'm hoping that it helps people to really think about the Constitution and the
Mhm.
rights and freedoms that we've been given in this country, and to fight for them and to hold on to them, and to not be uh, not be duped into just accepting whatever comes their way, particularly from the government or from the wealthy, influential leaders within society. So.
Okay, so I have one question here from Facebook, or we're live there, and one of the commenters said, this is from a commenter named Honey Smith. She said, as someone inspired by multiple art forms, do you see writing as combining music, art, and storytelling into one creative expression?
I do, because they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and you can't really beat, like, for instance, sitting in an auditorium and hearing a symphony, orchestra around you, playing the music. But writing, you can at least get a sense of all of those things, especially if you have a good grasp of language and vocabulary. And I feel like you can describe a lot of things in an artistic way that evokes in the reader's mind, a little bit of whatever you want, just depending on how you approach it. And so, and whatever story you're trying to tell. And so that's kind of another reason why I decided on being an author as much as I can be, just because I want to be able to shape ideas. And I feel like that's, the pen is mightier than the sword. And so,
True.
So yeah, that's kind of, I definitely agree with that. So
yes. So right now, Aaron, I would love to give the spotlight to you. Tell us where we can find your book, or if you have other projects that you want to promote as well.
So Saboteurs is available on Amazon and Kindle. The Kindle is actually might be free, or it might just be $1. The paperback book is a little bit more than that, but it's worth having, I believe. And then Orion's Belt, my second book, my other book over there, is also available on Kindle and at Amazon.com. And yeah, so those are what I've done so far. I'm also sort of in the middle of writing an epic fantasy series that I envision it to be 4 books long, to be a self-contained story, following a number of characters, more so than these 2 books, following them very closely, each one of them having their own sort of story within the larger story, and all of them coming together to face the problem in the book. So that's my next book goal. So.
Love that. All right, so that's Aaron Paul Riley, everyone. Get your copy of Saboteurs, available on Amazon and Kindle. And also his other book as well is available on Amazon and Kindle. It's called Orion's Belt. And watch out for his other works as well. It's a fantasy book. It's going to be really exciting. And by the way, his book will be available at Reader's Magnet booth in Chicago this September 12 and 13 at the Printers Row Lit Fest. So see you guys there. Got a copy of Saboteurs, once again, and Orion's Belt by Aaron Paul Riley. And Aaron, thank you so much for joining us here today. It's an honor to have you here at RM Hive.
Thank you, Raven. And thank you, Reader's Magnet.